Okay, so I'm doing a baby blanket for a cousin of ours, and she just had a little baby. And what I did is I have a serger and I have an embroidery machine. And what I did is I got a baby blanket, and I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of hard to see, but I serged around the edge edge of the blanket, so it would have a cute little finish, and it's just white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Pooh and his name on the blanket. So I have a program, and I have a bunch of characters and all kinds of embroidery designs. So I'm doing Pooh with a balloon today, and my embroidery machine plugs into my computer and I can upload it. So I picked my design, and then I picked my letters, and I plugged it into my machine. And you can see Pooh there. It's just kind of an outline. It's not great. So what I do is I go through here my color check, and I get my colors out, and I line them up in the order that they will be used. And I have a reference guide from my brother machine, what the colors are, what numbers each color is. So like if you look here, it's kind of hard to see, but purple is 614. So I would look for 614. In this case I have moss green, and it was 515. So and what I did with these is I put the numbers underneath, because obviously when you're sewing you have to have this open. So I kind of just stuck the number underneath. Some of the numbers I've lost, so I'll probably have to figure out a different way for that. But anyways, you could probably write it on there. But so I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm not sure if we had a video on how to thread the machine. So I want to make sure my first color is pumpkin. So 126 I have here, which is pumpkin. So I'm going to put it in my little machine here, put it in here, and then I'm going to loop it. So I'm going to follow the reference guide. And now when I get here, I'm going to drop this down. I'm going to drop my foot level down and go to number 6, pull it tight, and then follow it around to 7, and then it cuts it. So once you have that, you just push the button and it threads it itself. And my machine does it. Not all the machines do it, but this machine's pretty cool. So I have a stabilizer on the bottom, and I have a water stabilizer here. I'm just gonna I did not hoop. Oops. I did not hoop the top stabilizer, so I'm just going to lay that on here, and then if you just make it wet, it'll stick. And you do not want the top to bunch up. I learned the hard way. You do not want the top stabilizer to bunch up. And another trick is the bottom stabilizer. If you do like I do, I have a sheet. I have stabilizer sheets, tearaway stabilizer sheets. They just come in big sheets. And I have figured out that you do not want to necessarily loop the entire sheet on the bottom of your hoop, because it will kind of bunch up, and it makes the design not as good. So I'm going to double check. Okay, I have plenty of bobbin, and I buy the pre-done bobbin that's already done, that you can buy. It's already spun, and that it's actually a really good deal, and it's a good product. But anyways, okay, so now I'll put my foot level back down, and I'm just going to hit start. And a lot of times you do not even have to trim your thread. Okay, kind of scared there for a second. I wasn't sure if I had him turned the right way. So you always want to make sure that you have the fabric turned the right way. So I have it in sideways, as you can see, so I had to make sure I turn my design around. I have my machine set on fast, so it'll do this pretty quickly. And I'll zoom in and see how it's. It's doing the same color, but when it's when you're not doing the same color, you might want to stop it each time it moves so that you can cut the thread. I'll stop it and show you what I'm talking about. Like when it goes from area to area, you see this thread right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a thread right here, like a guide thread. It goes from one area to the next. If you can cut that as it's embroidering, or stop the machine of course and cut it, it's a lot easier, because sometimes if you have a lot of different colors, it gets really kind of wound in there and it kind of gets hard to pull out, and it doesn't make your embroidery design look as crisp. So if you can cut it in between, it's better. It's finishing up. You can see he's cute. Alright, so alright, it's done. So now, and it'll even tell you finished sewing. So now I don't know if you can see this button up here, but you push this button and that cuts the bobbin thread. So lift up, and now to take out, so here, take out your hoop, you push back on this level and push up the back, and then it'll come out in the front. Okay, so there we go. And let's see. Okay, so here's your design. It's cute. So now you want to be careful. Let's see. Close this a little bit. So you want to go ahead and unscrew the hoop. You see how I have the hoop on the back? I don't have the stabilizer all the way. It allows it to move some, so it doesn't kind of gather and get real quick and mess up the front embroidery part. All right. This is just water soluble stabilizer that will come out with water. Let's see. Okay, so here is an important. This is important. Okay, so you want to go through and you want to cut all these threads that go from letter to letter, or from the bear to the letter. So get it as close as possible without messing it up. See, okay, you see his face? That's what's so hard sometimes to do. You just got to take your time and just kind of work out the thread that shouldn't be there. Okay, so I'm gonna now I'm gonna pull my stabilizer off. Pull easily. It's, you know, again, it's water stabilizer, so the areas that don't want to come off, it's okay. Just we'll just wet it. Okay. Sure to stick good, doesn't it? All right. So you just, and what I'll probably do is just wet this whole corner of the blanket just to get the remaining stabilizer off. Wow, really stuck good. Okay. So there's some, you gotta be careful because you can really mess up your design at this point. So don't pull too hard, and whatever you can't get off, don't worry about. Just wet it. Okay. Same goes for the back. So you have your bobbin thread, which is white. It's almost like a clear. Okay, so you cut all that off. The most important ones are in between the letters and the designs, so when you pull. Okay. This too is a, I think it's water, it dissolves, but anyway, so you see, you just want to pull it off. For delicate designs like the letters, just kind of push, and it'll come right out. It's pretty easy. But you just want to be careful so you don't mess up the design that you just did. So just kind of push in the areas that give you a hard time. And the nice thing about this is that you can get all the stabilizer off, so it's just the imprinted area that has a stabilizer, so it doesn't make the rest of the garment or the blanket stiff like some embroideries are. Tedious little work, but alright. Okay. So now just in between here. And usually the letters are a little bit not harder, but they're just a little more delicate than the other areas, so just kind of be careful on there. Alright. Okay. So there is my finished product. I got to get the rest of the stabilizer off. I'll just wet this whole area. He turned out really cute. Hope that helped everybody. This is a really great machine, and I'll show you guys some more YouTubes. So I'm going to cancel it. So this machine really has some cool stuff. So you can use, you can upload from your USB. They have cards that you can buy. I haven't bought any cards. And then they have some stock designs in here, and they're colored in the book, so you can see what they look like. And then up here, as you can see, you can do your spool or your bobbin, and then your thread. And I just leave one thread up there because I don't have enough room in my thread holder. And it's been a really great machine. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks.